Okay, let me think. My Beth Israel story is it's a long and winding road, which I'm not going to. Anyway. I'm Andy Mayer, and I have been playing piano at Beth Israel for 22 years around. That's my best estimate. I grew up in a family that identified as Jewish. It wasn't that I discovered Judaism, but my discovery of the religion and the community in Beth Israel was really through music, and that's how when I think about a particular prayer that I hear at services, I think about maybe it's one of the prayers which I've written a setting for, and if that's the case, then I spent a tremendous amount of time thinking about the Hebrew, about the various different translations of it, of different settings of it by different composers. It's like a whole deep study for me, just for one prayer.
Your mashup has become a really central and core part of our High Holy Day observance over the last couple of years. It clearly resonates with people. Tell us a little bit about how it was written, how you chose to weave those two pieces together, and a little bit about are there deeper meanings that you would want the community to know about the piece?
Okay. Well, first thing I have to say is that it was absolutely not my idea to combine those two pieces of music. And it has been done numerous times by other people. And if you just go on the internet and search for combinations of Who by Fire and Rosh Hashanah, you will find other things as well. But I had heard a few of these mashups. And it's very natural because, Leonard Cohen's lyrics, were clearly motivated by Unatan Tokef, and yet they're so powerful in English, and they're so intense that sometimes, if suppose you don't speak Hebrew natively, maybe you don't get the same intensity from the actual Unatan Tokef as you do just from reading these English words about overdoses and other horrible ways of dying. Anyway, it's beautiful. So anyway, I heard a couple versions of it. And in fact, we used to do a thing where we would just do some verses, and then we would just switch over and sing. It's I think a lot of synagogues do that actually. So I had a different idea. My feeling was that I didn't want to chop up Leonard Cohen's song. I feel like Leonard Cohen, when he's at his best, which is definitely Who by Fire is an example of his brilliance. I think that I don't want to break it. I don't want to cut it. I don't want to cut out some of the words. I don't want to change the words. I don't want to do anything to it. It seemed like I really wanted to preserve the integrity of his song. But then how do I do a mashup? Because usually a lot of mashups, this is going to sound really nerdy, but it's sort of like time division multiplex, which means like you do a little bit of this song, a little bit of that song, then back to this song, and then back to that song. And the continuity it was killing me to hear that song broken up. So my concept was, no, I'm just going to let Leonard Cohen speak, do his song. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use material from the Lind version, which is the familiar Rosh Hashanah, and I'm going to use that material as like it's not exactly an accompaniment figure. It's almost more like an obligato. It's almost like it's just meant to be a complement to it that brings in the ingredients of that piece. And that piece is actually, you asked me what are my favorite pieces. I mentioned the Shema in an earlier question. That piece also, it's just such a resonant piece of high holidays to hear Rosh Hashanah. It's like, and everyone sings along, and it's this great sense of communal prayer when that song is happening. So I thought by inserting that into it and weaving it through, and now it required me to change the notes a little bit. And I think when I first started doing it, some people were a little uncomfortable, like, well, you're singing, you're not singing, you might be singing instead of like, And so which sounds very similar, but it's a little different, and maybe that note. But I wanted it, the note. I didn't think the specific note mattered. I thought the important thing was that the sound of the phrase complemented the original piece. So it was really driven by Leonard Cohen's vision of the song, and then my desire to kind of provide deep roots to the sounds of the holidays.
I want you to imagine you've got an unlimited budget, unlimited whatever, even time travel resources. If you could have any musicians or singers perform this piece, what would the setting be?
I don't know. I mean, I love the people who do it today. I mean, I don't need other people, I mean, there's something that is important to me about having... Look, I didn't go into the music business. I'm not like a professional recording artist or a concertizer. I don't, it's something very important to me about having a synagogue, having the communal participation in the music that we do. In a different world, I would be like playing a piano concerto with an orchestra or something, but I'm not doing that. What I want to do is I want to play music where people are singing along and where the community is participating. So for me, actually having the adult choir and the youth choir sometimes, or having, like on second day of Rosh Hashanah, we do it with a few people on a part, and it's like, Heidi, who's my wife and my family and clergy who I work with, and and Becca and Danny, who I've known since they were babies. It's like, to me, that's the community and the people in my world expressing that music. It's actually, I can't really ask for something better than that. I could ask for more. Like maybe the adult choir could be like twice as big. We could have even more congregants singing. That would maybe be better, because I want a lot of sound. I don't want it to be like really quiet, and I want it to be people really singing. But no, I don't have something better than the community to do it. Even with time travel, though, I feel like I should find a good way to use time travel if it's given to me.
Yeah. I didn't know if like having Lind and Leonard Cohen.
That might be. I'm not sure Leonard Cohen would even like it. I don't even know. But I mean, I would hope that he would, because when I penned the arrangement, I was thinking about him. I was thinking about what he was trying to do with the music. I didn't want to change the music so that it had a different feel or a different style than what he was trying. So I think I would hope that he would like it, but I don't know if I would want him to like be to perform it. I don't know. I don't think I'm worthy.